Hey, welcome back to Wisdom Seed Wednesdays, where every bit of wisdom is like a seed planted in your life. My name is Shane Gerhard, and I'm so happy that you're here. Today, we're getting into Proverbs chapter 1, verse 12, which is a continuation of the last two verses. So if you haven't seen those videos, make sure to check them out now because this is going to extend into them. But I'm going to read off the verse 10 and 11, which is, "My son, if sinners entice you, don't be persuaded. If they say, 'Come with us, let's set an ambush and kill someone. Let's attack some innocent person just for fun.'" Now, a couple key notes from those two verses. It's the sinners. Who is doing this? It's the sinners, people who are self-thinking, people who are selfish and separated from God. It's a specific people group. And then in verse 11, it talks about killing someone. Now, that's very easy to glance over this because the odds of you killing someone are very low. But what if it said, let's cancel someone? Now, I dive really deep into that in the previous video, so make sure to check that out if you haven't already. So that brings us to verse 12, which is, "Let's swallow them alive like Sheol, still healthy as they go down to the pit." This is another verse that's so easy to just glance over and skim by it because how relatable is it? What do you mean swallow them alive, still healthy as they go down to the pit? I'm not gonna kill someone. I'm not gonna attack some innocent person. But the more I sat on this verse, the more I started to think, what would it take for you to swallow someone alive? What does that even mean that they're still healthy as they go down? And so I wanted to pose this question to you. How often do you eat things that are alive? Like really, what is it that you would ever eat alive and why would you ever do it? I mean, think about it. If something is alive, it's still fighting, it's still kicking. But most of the time, pretty much 99.9% of the time, you are going to cook and prepare your food. You're first gonna kill it, and then you're gonna put it on the grill, you're gonna season it, whatever it may be. That's how we typically eat our food. But this isn't saying that. It's saying you're gonna swallow them alive, still healthy as they go down to the pit. And so it got me thinking, why would anyone ever need to swallow something alive? And when we think of that, what type of state of mind are they in? This is the state of mind of someone who's wild, someone who's ravenous, someone who's starving. When you first get a look at a food and you just start eating it, it's people who have been lost and stranded in the desert onto an island, and they get their hands on a fish and they just start eating it immediately without any preparation. It is someone who is absolutely wild. It means all sense of rational thought has been put aside. You're no longer using any rationality. You're operating on pure desire, starvation, and hunger. How often have we seen something on social media like TikTok or on TV or in a newspaper, and we saw one little thing talking about a person, and without using any judgment, you started to go after them. You made a personal decision in your heart that they are a bad person. I see it all the time on TikTok where people see something about someone and they go and try and destroy their lives. They go to cancel them. But this here, this verse 12, is really about you. It's not about the other person. It's not talking about go and cancel them. It's talking about what state of mind are you in? Are you ravenous? Has all rational thought been put aside? Has all love been put aside to where you want to destroy someone who's innocent, who's alive and healthy and can make rational decisions and can come back and be forgiven? Or have you put all forgiveness aside? Are you operating out of such anger, frustration, starvation to just destroy something that you stepped out of love? That's what this is saying. It's talking about a mindset. A mindset for someone who swallows things that are still alive is someone who's ravenous and desperate and wild. And I know I keep repeating this, but it's so important to recognize how often we do this in our normal lives. I bet you can think of times where you got so angry, all rationality went out the window. How about when you were so worried about something that you couldn't put your mindset on any scriptures that God has for you? You couldn't listen to anyone in your life saying, hey, it's gonna be all right. It's okay, you can move forward. You can only think of one thing. It put you in a single focus mindset. But here, it's even worse than that. It's not just that you're single-minded, overflowing with emotion. It's that you're operating out of something of just self-gain and feral instinct, wild nature. This is how we tend to act when we're so far from the presence of God. The more and more and more you look like the world, the more and more you're gonna act out of this type of mindset. Earlier it says, don't be persuaded if sinners are trying to get you to swallow people alive. The only way you can be persuaded is for two ways. The first one is you have counsel around you. I dove into this in the previous video, but you need to have people around you that you trust more than yourself. And the second thing you need to do is you need to have a rational enough mindset to recognize what you're doing is wrong. And the only way you can do that is if you pull yourself back from the situation at hand. So if my microphone is you and this Bible is the situation that you're in here and it's covering you, it's consuming you, right? You are held within it. Counsel helps you recognize like, hey, you just put your arm there, put your hand there and start to push and wiggle your way out of it. And then you step away from it. And now you can look at it and be like, I have greater perspective. Oh, I do see right over here. That's where the deceit was coming in. So you have to be able to pull yourself back. You need to pull yourself back into the presence of God so that way you can operate out of rational mindset and love and forgiveness. Because what is something that they're not doing when you kill someone, when you swallow them alive, still healthy as they go down, still healthy? That is their opportunity to be forgiven and to be loved. I love the picture of Abraham standing on the mountain, talking to God, saying, will you destroy the city if you find one righteous person in there? He says, no, I'm not going to destroy it. This is that righteous person. Everyone on earth can receive the Lord and be forgiven. Every person. But you won't do it if you're operating on a carnal mindset, if you're operating so single-mindedly focused that you just wanted to destroy someone. Jesus has not called you to destroy. He has called you to love and serve and bless your enemies. So take a step back, pull back for just a moment and ask God, how can you love better? Who is someone in your life that you know? It could be someone on social media. It could be a celebrity. It could be someone in the media. It could be a politician that you just, they grind your gears. They get you so angry. And then ask God, how do I love them better? How can I love this person better? My name is Shane Gerhard. I am so happy that you're here for Wisdom Seed Wednesdays. If you enjoy this, please make sure to like this video. It helps me out so much and makes me aware that you want more content like this. Next week, we're going to be continuing into verse 13. So hopefully, I'll see you there.